Hey everyone, Happy New Year. This is Pam Slim from Escape from Cubicle Nation, and I hope all of you had a wonderful, restful holiday season and are back in the swing of things. I've actually had a great start to the new year. I've been really motivated and working on a lot of things behind the scenes, getting ready for a great new year. And I wanted to share a little bit of insight that hopefully may help you. It's something I've noticed for myself of what's made me had such a great start to this year, and frankly, what was a bit of a rough end to last year. There were some things that I had just been kind of holding back and putting off doing. For me, what I love to do is to create new things and design programs and to market and to sell and connect with my people, and all those things really get me energized. What does not get me energized is doing some of the back end administration or bookkeeping or all those kind of pieces. And toward the end of the year, of course, as you know, that meant that everything just piled up. And so I had a whole bunch of it that needed to get done. And it was not terribly pleasant having to do a whole bunch of it right at the end of the year when I just wanted to be relaxing and winding down because it was such a busy year. But when I did it, when I actually got through it all, which I did, yay, the lesson that I learned was something that is, I've talked a lot with my friend Charlie Gilkey about. Charlie, for those of you who don't know him, writes over at productiveflourishing.com, and we both do the liftoff retreat together twice a year. And Charlie talks about the concept of swallowing a frog first thing in the morning, where as you look at all the things that you have on your plate, if there's something that frightens you or feels like it's overwhelming or maybe not your favorite thing to do, but that really, really needs to get done, that you take care of it and do it first thing. And what I learned in my planning, which now I'm applying to this coming year, is it doesn't work if you just put off those frogs that are not pleasant to you but are really essential to your business week after week after week, because after a while they can add up to be something that's really big, that takes a lot of time and effort and energy and resources to get through. So my thought for all of you beginning the year, and definitely as a reminder to myself, is to make sure that as you look at what needs to get done this year, you balance those things which you love to do, which for some of you may be to create new things, or maybe you just love working with clients, or maybe you love doing the back-end administration and bookkeeping, and marketing is not something that's your favorite thing to do. Whatever your metaphorical frog is, that you find a place in your regular weekly schedule in which you make sure to take care of it one little piece at a time. And when you do that, especially if you can get some kind of systems in place, for example, where maybe you have a partner that can work with you. I'm going to be working with a bookkeeper who can do a lot of the back-end bookkeeping. My CPA is working really closely with me this year to set up some new systems and processes so I have a much better visibility into the finances of my company. And when you get the right resources in place and then set aside a regular time in which you're doing that check-in, it can make you feel better overall. What I notice is a real huge surge of energy in all aspects of my life. It's really weird. I've been motivated to to eat better and to exercise more, and all these things that I think are related to really taking care of things in the way that they need to be taken care of, and to not have that feeling of constantly running like you're trying to jump onto that train, like you see sometimes in those old Western movies, where you just try to move faster and faster, and after a while, you really can't keep up with the train. So hopefully this year you can identify what are those key things that you really need to get done on a regular basis, get the support that you need for any parts that you don't have to do yourself, but then build them into your schedule so that you won't be faced with a December like I faced this past year. What would I call it? My pact to you, my hope, what I'm sharing with all of you is that by the end of December 2011, I can look back and I can tell you that I actually implemented this advice myself so that I can take a little bit more time off at the end of the year as opposed to going through piles of paperwork.